Let's look at question number 51. Imagine you have a hybrid cloud infrastructure that includes on-premises Windows and Linux servers, on-premises Microsoft SQL Server instances, and Azure resources. You need to design a security management solution that ensures consistent inventory, governance, and security across both on-premises and Azure environments, and offers a unified viewing and management experience via centralized Azure-based platform. Which service should you incorporate in your solution? We have four options: Azure Arc, Bastion, Logic Apps, and Stack Hub. What is the correct answer? The right answer is Azure Arc. So what is Azure Arc? Azure Arc is a solution provided by Microsoft that helps simplify governance and management across different cloud environments and on-premises data centers. It offers a consistent platform where you can manage diverse resources, whether they are in Azure, other cloud providers, or on-premises, all in one place. What are the benefits of Azure Arc? It provides a unified management option, centralized control, consistency. It allows you to do enhanced DevOps capabilities and hybrid integration. So let's look at a use case for an Azure Arc to manage virtual machine. You can use Azure Arc to control and monitor virtual machines across various platforms as if they are Azure based or as if they were already in Azure based, ensuring consistent security and performance. Let's look at question 52. Consider you have an Azure subscription and you aim to elevate and enhance security in alignment with Microsoft Cloud Security Benchmark or MCSB standards. You need to recommend a solution that meets the PV1, that is define and establish security configuration MCSB control, ensuring the establishment of secure configurations for newly implemented Azure resources. What solution would you suggest? Let's look at the four options available. The correct answer is Azure Landing Zones. So we looked into the examples on MCSB at question number 46, and we looked into one example of what is Azure Landing Zone on question number 50. So if you want further explanation on what it is, you can go through that to understand what is MCSB and Azure Landing Zone. The P-V1 define and establish secure configurations MCSB control defines the security configuration baseline for different resource types in the cloud. You can use Azure Landing Zone to provide a consistent and secure initial standard for when you implement a new resource. Question number 53. Your company operates in a hybrid cloud environment that includes a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription encompassing both on-premises servers and cloud-based services. Imagine you are tasked with enhancing the security posture of your organization. You need to provide a solution that can first assess and report the current state of your organization's security posture. Second, offer recommendations and insight to boost security. Third, benchmark current results against standard metrics and establish key performance indicators. Which solution would you propose to meet these requirements? Let's look into these options. The correct answer is Microsoft Secure Score. So what is Microsoft Secure Score? Microsoft Secure Score is a measurement tool provided by Microsoft that helps organizations elevate their security posture within the Microsoft 365 environment. It offers a score out of a possible 100, representing the overall security level based on the adoption of recommended security practices and configurations. The higher the secure score, the better the organization's adherence to security best practices. Let's look at question number 54. You are managing an Azure subscription and need to implement conditional access policies that determine access to Azure resources based on the compliance status of users' devices. How can you achieve this? Let us look into the four options available. The correct answer is Microsoft Intune. So how can Microsoft Intune help you with this? Microsoft Intune is needed for a conditional access policy to identify access to a resource based on compliance status. Intune will establish compliance and provide the result to the conditional access policy. Let's look at question number 55. Your organization has an Azure subscription that encompasses both on-premises servers and cloud-based services, creating a hybrid cloud environment. Given this setup, you need to recommend security protocols for web workloads that satisfies the following criteria. What are these criteria? First is encrypt sensitive data during transmission. Second, implement network segmentation. Third, utilize a centralized identity and authentication system. What should be included in your recommendation? Look at these four options and what should be the correct answer. The correct answer is Azure Security Baselines. So what is Azure Security Baselines? Azure Security Baselines are a set of predefined security policies and best practices provided by Microsoft to help organizations secure their Azure resources. These baselines are designed to assist in creating and maintaining secure configurations for services like software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So one of the use case of Azure Security Baseline for a new deployment include when you deploy new application or services in Azure, security baselines can be applied to ensure that all resources are configured securely from the start. Question number 56. Consider the following scenario. You have an Azure subscription that hosts multiple web applications, each with a registered DNS name through a public DNS registrar. You need to propose a solution that alerts you when an app is decommissioned. Ensure that any residual DNS entries in the registrar are identified. What would you recommend? Let's look at the available four options. The correct answer is Microsoft Defender for App Service. So what is this Microsoft Defender for App Service? Microsoft Defender for App Service is a security tool designed to protect your web applications hosted on Azure App Service. It helps detect and mitigate security risk by providing continuous monitoring and advanced threat detection. This ensures that your web application remains secure and that potential vulnerabilities are quickly identified and addressed. Some of the benefits of Microsoft Defender for App Service include threat detection, continuous monitoring, and actionable recommendations. Question number 57. You manage an Azure subscription that manages multiple AKS clusters running on containerized application. Your goal is to implement a security baseline for these AKS instances that includes monitoring for unauthorized Azure resources and ensuring secure configurations. Which solution would you choose to meet these requirements? Let's look into these four options. The correct answer is Azure Policy. We looked into Azure Policy in detail in the previous questions. So what is Azure Policy? Azure Policy evaluates resources and actions in Azure by comparing the properties of those resources to business rules. These business rules described in JSON format are known as policy definition. You can create, assign, and manage these policies that enforce different rules and effects over your resources hosted in Azure, including which allows you to deploy this Azure policy on your AKS instances. Let's look at question number 58. Imagine you have an Azure subscription and you are tasked with designing a security baseline for PaaS services within the Azure environment. As part of the process, you need to determine the primary security perimeter to address in your design. What would be the main security perimeter to focus on? Let's look at the options available. The correct answer is Identity Security Perimeter. In modern security practices, the concept of an identity security perimeter has become crucial. As cyber threats evolve, organizations must adapt their defense strategies to ensure robust protection against breaches. The identity security perimeter focuses on safeguarding individual identities rather than just relying on network security measures. What are some of the importance of identity security perimeter. Identity security perimeter is essential because it assumes that attackers may have already breached the network. So instead of only protecting the boundary of an organization's network, it focuses on securing the identities within the network. This approach is vital to give you strong authentication, authorization control, and continuous monitoring. Question number 59. You have an Azure subscription and are tasked with creating a resiliency plan for Azure resources and data based on Microsoft security best practices. Your goal is to provide suggestions to minimize the impact of ransomware attack on the organization. What two recommendations should be included in your strategy? Each correct answer contributes to the solution. Let us look into the provided options and find the right answer. The correct answers are provide user education and refine backup and restore procedures. See, these ransomware attacks have become a prevalent threat to organizations worldwide, causing substantial disruptions and financial losses. To mitigate the impact of such attacks, organizations must implement a comprehensive strategy that includes both preventive and reactive measures. So, what are the preventive measures you can use? One is user education. Educating users on cyber attack prevention is crucial as human errors is often a primary cause of ransomware infections. Users should be aware of the common tactics used by attackers such as phishing emails and malicious link. So what are the things you can do? You can conduct regular training sessions, you can implement simulated phishing exercises, or you can provide clear guidelines on safe browsing practices. What is a reactive measure you can do? One of the reactive measure is refining backup and restore procedure. So what is the importance of it? When you equip backup and restore procedures, these are vital for ensuring the data can be recovered quickly and effectively in the event of a ransomware attack. This reduces downtime and minimizes the overall impact. Let's look at some of the best practices. So you can implement regular automated backups of critical data. You can store backups in multiple locations, including offsite or cloud storage. Test backup or restore procedures periodically to ensure they work correctly and quickly, and maintain an inventory of all critical systems and data to prioritize during recovery. Question number 60. Imagine you own an Azure subscription that includes multiple Azure file shares. As part of your strategy to protect against ransomware attacks, you need to implement an Azure backup solution for these file shares. Which storage entity should you choose for backing up Azure files? Let's look into these four options. The correct answer is Recovery Services Vault. We looked into what is Recovery Services Vault in question number 40. If you want to understand what is Recovery Services Vault, it's a storage entity in Azure that securely holds the backup data. The key benefit of using a Recovery Services Vault is it offers a centralized, secure, and scalable solution for backing up data.